Good morning all. We've just got a Dell T3600 Precision 3610. Just pulled it apart and put Windows 10 on it, but I was unhappy with the power supply. I've removed it now, but the power supply was spinning the fans up really fast, even on low temperature. Occasionally they would slow down, so it wasn't a fault, but I think the threshold of the temperature measurement was a little bit too high, and it was driving me crazy with the excessive noise that was coming from the machine. So I decided to do something about that. So over on my bench here, we've got the power supply unit pulled apart. It's a 685 watt power supply. There it is there. And one thing I've noticed over the years with the power supplies is they no longer give you an output. So they give you the 240 or the power in, but they don't give you the switched output. I like the switched output because I can turn off my monitors and printers and any other peripheral devices that may be connected. So instead of having them on standby, I just like to shut the power off. So I've done a couple of little modifications that some people may be interested in. So the fans are a 4-wire fan, and they're driven by pulse width modulation. So they vary the pulse width and control the speed. Now, the longer the pulse, the faster the fan goes. So it's got a fail-safe. If there's no pulse, then the fan just runs flat out. So these two connectors on this power supply are for the fan. Now, there's four pins on the connectors. There's the green, a black, a blue, and a yellow. Now, I've removed the blues from out of the socket, and I've run those blue wires out. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with those next. So the pulse width modulation is now no longer controlled from the power supply within, but right back over to the computer. The motherboard has many power supply plugs for the internal fans. There's 1, 2, there's another one, 3. So what I'm doing is actually taking the fan outputs of the power supply, and I'm plugging it into the blue wires of those fans, which is the pulse width modulation control. So the motherboard is now going to be controlling the speed of my fans rather than the power supply itself. So now I've got a much quieter computer, and when it does heat up, it'll be adjusting. So that's the first modification, and that seems to be very successful. And the second modification is I've taken a 12 volt power from the fans, a positive and negative supply. So the green wire is the positive and the black is the negative. The yellow wire, I believe, is a tacho signal, so I'm not really interested in anything with that. So I've just taken power off, positive and negative, and I've just got it running through down here to a relay. I've used a 20 amp 240 volt relay from Panasonic. It's only a single pole, single throw. And what I've done is I've drilled a little hole in the back, and I've inserted this cable, this one here. So all I've done is I've hooked up my earth, hooked up my neutral, and then I've switched my active through that relay. So in effect, when the power supply is turned on and the computer starts to run, the fans will start running because it's now booted up the power supply, and there's a 12 volt feed. The 12 volt feed energizes this little relay and then supplies power to all my external devices, printers and screens and whatever else. So hopefully some of you guys might find this video helpful. I searched a lot on the internet about Dell power supplies and really didn't find too much, so I thought I'd make you this video. Okay, all, have a good day.